Hey, ladies, welcome to Messy Money Monday. It's your girl Cherie here for all my UMBWs. Put UMBW in the chat. If you're listening to the replay, put UMBW in the comments. We're going to put our 90-second clock on, give people a chance to come in, hit the like button, and we will talk tonight about Hillmantok, HBCU. I'm loving the trend. We're going to talk about a message that I saw 3 days ago about Kevin Samuels and the Winter is Coming message, and it was from a fellow woman, Black woman YouTuber. So we're going to talk about that for just a couple of minutes, and then we're going to talk about Cam Newton can't pay as much for his kids. So that's the content for the evening. Again, hit the like button. We're going to put our 90-second clock on, and then we shall have a great, messy money topic day. Here we go. Welcome to Black Women Making Money. We are the home of the upwardly mobile Black woman. For exclusive content and invitations to our Inner Circle Zoom meetings, which happen on a monthly basis, you can sign up for free for our email newsletter at bwmakingmoney.com. That's bwmakingmoney.com. Hey, ladies, welcome to Black Women Making Money. It's your girl Cherie here, and of course, we are the home of UMBWs. Throw a UMBW in the chat if you are excited for tonight's messy money topic. I'm just going to put in my poll here for our live. Did you like the video? Today has been a crazy day for your girl. I had more stuff on my to-do list than I had time, but I got a good reprieve because one of my clients was like, oh, I don't need it right now. I was like, thank you, Jesus, even though I did spend the better part of Saturday and today working on her stuff, but that's okay. You don't know. Y'all know how it is when you got clients and you're like, oh, shoot, you're trying to hurry and get stuff done and all of that stuff. But I didn't want to miss tonight's topics with you ladies. So KB is in the building. Hello. Hello, Lanique. How you doing? Scarlett is in the building. Jay Antoinette is here. Donna Earth is here. Jay Antoinette is putting her UMBW in the chat. Y'all put your UMBWs in the chat. Let me know that you are an upwardly mobile Black woman. So tonight's conversation is a little bit of a montage here, or a mashup, or whatever you call it. I got 3 topics, and they are messy money topics. Well, the first one isn't. The first one is kind of like a kudos to us as Black women. We're going to talk about Hillmantok HBCU. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been hearing about Hillmantok. Put a two in the chat if you do not know what Hillmantok is. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this message I saw a couple of days ago from this woman called Reva TV. I don't watch too much of her, but I was aware of her. She showed up in my feed talking about Kevin Samuels' Winter is Coming. And it was 12 minutes, so I listened to it. And at the end of it, I felt like there was a message I wanted to share with all of you. We're not going to listen to the whole 12-minute thing. We're probably going to listen to a minute of her. I'm going to tell you what she says, and I'm going to tell you what my thought is. And then the third thing, Cam Newton. I'll clear Cam Newton can't pay for his kids, but that's not exactly what he said. But we're going to go over what Cam Newton said with regards to money and his children, and how you, as my UMBWs, can set your lives up if you want to have children and you want to get married, or preferably get married and have children in that order. Something to look out for. So at some point, we are going to do another session on how to vet men financially. But you all know I don't like too much of my content on here to be about relationships, because, the wrong people be coming around here. So y'all are putting ones in the chat. Some of you have heard of Hillmantok. Twos in the chat of people who have not heard of it. No problem. You are going to like tonight's session when we talk about Hillmantok. Purple Rain has a one. She's heard of Hillmantok. Notary World with the $5 super sticker. Thank you so much, my dear, and hello. And you signed up for one of the Excel classes at Hillmantok. Very, very cool. So I all of a sudden started seeing Hillmantok all over the place. And I was like, Hillmantok, what is this? I knew it was some sort of trend with regards to something that was on TikTok, and it was around Black people, right? But I was very impressed when I discovered what Hillmantok is. So let us come here. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to tell you a little bit of the story of Hillmantok. And we are going to see what was actually created. So the story behind Hillmantok, first of all, do you all know the importance of Hillman College? Put a 3 in the chat if you know the importance of Hillman College. Put a 4 in the chat if you do not know the importance of Hillman College. Put a 3 in the chat if you know the importance of Hillman College. Tell me what the importance of Hillman College is. Put a 4 in the chat if you do not know the importance of Hillman College or where it came from. So I see my 3s are coming in. What is the importance of Hillman College? What was Hillman College, ladies? A different world. Yes, a different world, a different world. So, in spite of whether you like Bill Cosby or not, Bill Cosby had a great impact on how Black people were perceived in the late 80s and early 90s. Okay. Bill Cosby did A Different World. He did The Cosby Show, right? And then Denise graduates from high school and she goes to this fictitious college called Hillman College. And to this day, it's my understanding that Bill Cosby, and I don't know if it's NBC that owns it as well, but Bill Cosby owns the name Hillman College. It was a fictitious college, but it was the first time that on network TV, people saw Black people represented at an HBCU. It was also why so many people in the late 80s, early 90s went to HBCUs, because they saw a different world. Okay. So I'm looking at Hillmantok. So first of all, it can't be called Hillman College because Bill Cosby owns it, right? But Hillmantok University was something that was created from TikTok. And my understanding is it started because there was a African American studies professor, and she had a TikTok page, and she told her 30 students to join her TikTok page so that way they could keep up with her lessons with regards to her African American studies class. Well, Sister Girl looked up and all of a sudden 400,000 people signed up for her Black Studies class. And she said to everybody, this class was just for my students. Uh, I'm going to ask the rest of you to leave. And apparently, the 400,000 people said, no, we're staying. And that was the genesis of Hillmantok. Instead of her pushing people out, she said, okay, come on in. What do people want to learn? What do you want to do? What do you want to discover? And I love the idea of this because it gives people a chance to learn from professors and from Black professionals for free on TikTok. So put a 5 in the chat if anybody is taking a Hillmantok class. Put a 5 in the chat. Put a 6 in the chat if you may be interested in taking a Hillmantok class, because I think this is interesting. So I clicked on to see the different classes for the spring 2025. Here are some of the classes here. So they've got, and first of all, this is very well organized. So to whomever put this together, the ladies, they've got agriculture in here. They've got AI for creative arts. They've got business and management. They've got computer stuff, AI made easy, Black beauty culture, braiding for beginners, agile project management, Black homesteading. And again, they vet all of these professors, and these professors are some of the cream of the crop in their in their fields. And I think it's Black men and Black women that are teaching. I don't think it's just Black women, but it's definitely all Black, right? Um, they have people here teaching you Canva. A lot of people may not know like all the tips and tricks to use with regard to Canva. Black economics, blockchain, cosmetology, the cloud, brand building, gardening. Lord knows I need to take this. Seed to harvest, right? You've got a couple of different professionals here. Branding, building your course or digital products. Again, these are, my understanding, they're all free classes. Now, they do ask you if you're going to take a class to donate to the teacher, which I think is great. You should donate to the teacher, but I do think that this is awesome. And we are such creative people. We do, one of the things I will say about being Black is we'll make a way out of no way. And I love this. So, let's see here. You've got fundamentals of healthcare. You've got how to break in the tech. You've got UX principles. UX stands for user experience. How to buy land, art therapy. So there's a whole lot of stuff in here, and it looks like there's more stuff over here. Let me go up to the top here. There's more stuff over here about accounting. Oh, I did see the woman. So some of the classes are also on YouTube as well. And you'll see like the hour-long classes on YouTube. So the accounting person, I didn't watch it, but I did see that they had the accounting class on here. So you've got basics of real estate. You've got cultural intelligence, educating the Black child, creative writing, all sorts of stuff in here with regards to this. So this is a great trend that's happening on YouTube. I want to see what you girls are saying in here. You're saying how refreshing. You're saying that's really nice of her. Notary World is saying, yo, you see, when I say Black women will be all right, this is what I mean. We are so innovative. This is true. Fitness for Black ladies is saying this is awesome. Notary World, I already read that. And Jay is saying this is a great initiative. I was thinking about how my gen is the last gen to know of a time when popular Black American culture wasn't always synonymous with degeneracy. I agree with that. So, the degeneracy in our community, it's usually what's shown out there what's uplifted, things like that. I don't even believe half of Black people are degenerate. I think that they're the loud minority. I think that they're pushed out there. I think that, social media pushes them out. People talk about it. You have mainstream media, both Republican and Democrat, that push it out there. But that's not the Black experience. It's not the Black experience. It's definitely not the Black experience that I participate in and that I know and that I grew up in. Doesn't mean that I don't know that there's degeneracy out there, because I do. But I hang out with too many great, awesome Black people to go down that rabbit hole. So, living, loving is in the building. We better be paying this professor 400K, people paying $50 a month is $2 million in revenues for one professor. They deserve their coins. I agree with that. I agree with that. So, my understanding is the classes are free, but they do ask people, if you are, for example, taking the accounting class, to donate something to that professor, because that professor is giving you a piece of them. They're giving you that knowledge, and you don't have to pay thousands of dollars to take that class. You could take that class um, for no, for free, right? The other thing with this is, when I start talking to you about networking, this is what I'm talking about. Don't just like sit idly by and take the classes, like participate with the professor, make sure the professor knows who you are. Now, one thing with these, Hillmantok is that these are not accredited classes, right? You can't take these classes and get a degree. So, this is where your network is really going to be important. This is where your social media with regard to, hey, I did this assignment and I'm looking to work with some people in order to do a project, in order to like put my new skills to work. That's where this is going to come in, right? All the stuff that we talk about on this channel. So, um, Donna Earth is saying, this is a social media trend by the Black community that I can follow. Absolutely. Absolutely. So apparently there is a woman named Sierra Hilton, who was the founder of Hillmantok University, TikTok's first HBCU. So shout out to her. She here after the US banned TikTok and it was lifted, Sierra Hinton noticed her algorithm was different. She began seeing Black professors sharing their coursework as if they were in a classroom. The catalytic agent, Dr. Leah Barlow is the woman who I think started this. A professor at North Carolina A&T kicked off a movement with her Intro to African American Studies series, opening the floodgates for other educators to follow suit. Soon, users dubbed the movement TikTok University. My understanding is the users dubbed it TikTok University, and a person, not Black, went out and they got the trademark on it. So then we had to create a new trend. And my understanding is Dr. Barlow or somebody within Hillmantok actually is in the process or put in the application to trademark Hillmantok University. So that can't be taken away from us. Um, so it's saying here, a sixth grade math teacher herself, Hinton was inspired to create a reaction video to Barlow's post, commending her and the other professors on helping people learn no matter where they are. Because it's true, we can now learn across the globe. We don't have to be in the same vicinity as the professors that are giving us this knowledge. So again, I really love this. So um, she's saying here, quote, I commented under one of the videos saying, I love it here because I really do. Hinton shares with essence. And when I was seeing all of these Black professors flooding my timeline, it felt like being in an HBCU. So it says here, we just started building the lore around what is now Hillmantok. She said the name was inspired by the fictional but incredibly influential university from a different world. In less than 2 weeks, Hillmantok has commanded a huge following. To date, the tag Hillmantok boasts 100 million plus mentions. Professors and subject matter experts, including renowned hip hop journalist Teray Neblett, have now started to share their own college course under the Hillmantok University moniker. So, again, congratulations. Congratulations to Hillmantok. So, let me see what else you all are saying here. Aggie Pride. Yes, Notary World. All right. So, now that we have sufficiently uplifted ourselves, let's talk about the BS, right? Let's talk about the BS. We're going to talk about Kevin Samuels warned women about this, and now it's happened again. This is a video from 3 days ago. It showed up in my timeline. Usually, I never click on crap like this, but for some reason, I did. I was like, and I think she initially titled it something like Kevin Samuels said winter is coming. And I was like, well, he's been dead for a few years now. Like, what's going on here? Or something like that. So anyway, this is a young lady named Reva TV, and she is very pro man, which is okay, as long as it makes sense, right? To be. But I'm not going to play the entire 12 minutes, but she said a couple of things in this video that I thought were interesting. Now, I'm going to play it from the middle, but before this part, she had played some of Kevin Samuels' words with regards to winter is coming and with regards to the fact that the economy is changing. And of course, we see that now. I'm here to tell you that things are going to get worse in the economy, most likely. The prices are not coming down. And we've had this conversation over and over and over again. Who knows what's happening with these tariffs? Who knows what's happening with Trump overall? Elon Musk is closing agencies now of the government. So who knows what's going to happen? But within this video, Reva starts talking about this woman, this Black woman who says, yes, I got rid of my housing bill because I decided to be homeless in order to get rid of my housing bill. And then she explains, day in the life of and things like that. And Reva has a comment with regards to this, and then I'm going to comment based on what Reva is saying. So let's hear a little bit about what Reva specifically thinks about this.
Listening to all these people, sprinkle lady, all these people telling y'all that y'all can do better by yourself and go wait for the rich guy who's gonna come and save you. You had nice guys that come and try to take y'all on dates, nice guys that come and try to, court you or show you how serious they are, and you tell him, nah, y'all not good enough because I need to go get with somebody else that's gonna come and pay all my bills. You working a regular job like me, that's not gonna work. I need somebody that's above you. Whole time the person above them was never going to come.
Basically, what women are hoping that single men who had no family, no children, and have been locked out of the sexual marketplace because of this hypergamy will somehow come and save their lives. Not going to happen. It is going to be survival of the fittest.
And it's like now more than ever, I'm just keeping it very real with y'all, is when women are going to see that togetherness in the relationship is the foundation of having more peace in your life, whether you believe the rhetoric that you are being spewed on the internet or not. And the fact,
okay, it brings more peace. We're going to write this down. It brings more peace. Let's see about that. Okay, let's keep listening.
That we definitely need assistance from our spouse to be able to have a certain sense of peace and safety, of course, and security.
Okay, safety and security. More peace, more safety, and more security. All right. All right. So, and she started off this segment talking about sprinkle, sprinkle, right? And there's a reason why I wanted to talk about this. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, there are four primary groups of women that make up the Black community. Actually, that make up all communities. We're going to talk about us right now. There are sprinkle, sprinkle ladies that are out there who are like, yes, I want a man to pay all my bills, right? There are what Reva's talking about are the 50-50 ladies. These are the ladies that, and she has said, she said in I think a later part of this video that, women should be 50-50, right? Okay. There's a third group of women, are the homeless women, the woman that she's featuring on here, right? This is a financially destitute woman, even though this woman on the screen here said that she's not financially destitute. She just wanted to have more of her money to do other stuff with. But there's a homeless woman, and then the fourth type of woman, honestly, is the UMBW. And ladies, if we're being honest about this, as a conversation, there's pluses and minuses to all four of these types of women. There's no one right solution for all women. Okay? Sprinkle, sprinkle lady, yeah, you may not have to have a job, right? But the truth is, you're in financial danger. If that man decides he wants to pull his resources from you, you're in financial danger. We know that, right? The 50-50 lady that Reva's talking about here is never really 50-50. You're 50-50 on money, but are you 50-50 on everything else that's happening in your household, right? Because she talked about more peace, more safety, more security. That may not necessarily be the case, right? The homeless girl, she's got fewer bills, but last week it was, I think, 9 degrees outside in Maryland. I don't want to be homeless, right? The UMBW, which is what we are over here, there's a certain faction of women on social media who shun us as UMBWs. Why would we want to work that hard? Why would we want to have to do all of that? Let me tell you something. You will work hard and you will work smart to be a UMBW. There's no way around it. There is some elbow grease and some muscle that goes into it. That doesn't mean we can't have our soft girl jobs with regard to, and there's a really great video. I didn't pull it up for today. But there was this really great video of this Black woman who asked on TikTok, hey, I want to know from other women, what kind of jobs do you have where you're making mid-six figures, but you're still kind of, living soft girl life, or it's a feminine job. And all of these women started talking about their jobs that they have. A lot of them had jobs in tech or healthcare, right? But when I was listening to Reva, and I'm going to read your comments in a second here. When I was listening to Reva, I'm like, okay, we've got the breakdown of these four types of women. And the truth is that every woman is going to have to decide what group she wants to be a part of. And she's going to have to decide the good and the bad that's going to come with both. And I find that a lot of women, I'm not saying this about Reva because I don't know her, and I don't listen to her content like that, but I find that a lot of women are very judgmental on YouTube, on TikTok, on social media. I don't know how you ladies feel about it, but I do. And it's just disheartening, you know? But those are the four types of women. You all can tell me if you want to be a sprinkle girl, a 50-50 girl, a homeless girl, or UMBW. And let's not say homeless. Let's say financially distressed, right? You all can put in the chat. Are you a sprinkle girl, a 50-50 girl, a financially distressed girl, or a UMBW? Because as we go into, and we've had a couple of conversations over the past couple of weeks with regards to, you know, what the economy is going to look like by 2030. Lines are going to be drawn in the sand, and you're going to have to make a decision about what path you're following. You are. Now's one of the big things that I got from listening to Reva. So Purple Rain is a UMBW with a bit of sprinkle. She says here, I'm also African. So look, I get it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with the UMBW wanting to get married and have children. I just want you to know what you're doing and make sure you're protecting yourself and you do it the right way. And you think 5-10 steps ahead, right? But I do think that it is a great thing for UMBW to find a good man and to be able to settle down with that man and have a good, peaceful life. Right? Purple Rain is saying, what's that? I've never heard of that kind of winter. Oh, you talking about her kind of winter? Notary World is saying this lady is such a grifter. Like I said, I don't know her like that. I think I've seen one other video from her, and that was a couple of years ago. So, but yeah, she is very, I could tell from that video that, and from the video I watched a long time ago, that she does focus a lot more on men, you know? Purple Rain is saying, yeah, pros and cons to everything. So just pick the one that's best for you. Exactly. So with the 50-50, yeah, there could be emotional labor. There could be invisible labor on it. Weaponized incompetence. This is true. This is true. So there are a lot of women who are selling the sprinkle lifestyle and only telling you the good and not the drawbacks. There are people selling you the 50-50 lifestyle. See, with the UMBW lifestyle, I'm here to tell you, UMBW lifestyle is hard work. It is hard work. It's not going to be soft all the time. I tell you to go out and do multicultural networking. You're not going to want to do that all the time. You're not. You may be in a position, depending on what job you end up at and where you end up at, where the work environment, it'll pay you well. It'll pay you well, but they may work on your nerves so bad, right? Or you may be overloaded. Right now, I'm definitely overloaded with work. I'm grateful for it, but I'm overloaded, right? But I tell you what, I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about the price of eggs. So I don't, I'll tell you all this. So my mother likes the soup. I went to Safeway yesterday, the grocery store. I went to Safeway and I texted her. I was like, do you want anything? She was like, yeah, get me my soup. Y'all know the soup was $12 for like this. It's a plastic jar of the soup that she likes. I was like, Mom, I love you, but I ain't getting you no more $12 soup. Because I didn't look at the price until I got to the checkout. I was like, $12 a piece, and I got you 2 of these? Oh, heck no, you're going to have to start learning. I told my mother she was going to have to start learning how to make her own soup. But yes, but yeah, being a UMBW, it has its drawbacks too, but everything does. So, Purple Purple Rain is saying men just mentally opting out and hanging with friends instead of raising their own kids. That's true. And let me tell you something. Any of these men in any of these buckets can do that ultimately. It's amazing how many men are not prepared. And that's one of the things when we have our financially vetting men conversation again, which I don't know when it'll be, but we'll have it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a lot of men not knowing the cost of having these kids, not knowing how to raise a nepo baby, not knowing, because we raise nepo babies over here. I don't care what anybody says, right? Not having the ability to put your child in a position to win, etc. So, Live and Love is saying very true. Women also can have a primary and a secondary. The thing is, if you have a primary and a secondary, how are you using one to mitigate the risk of the other? This is true. And you may, let's say you may be sprinkle for a couple of years after you give birth. And, you decide, hey, I don't necessarily want to go back to work full time. I just say, have you a little part-time online something just in case, but that's just me, right? But yeah, you may have different parts of your life where sometimes you're hitting it really hard in the UMBW space, and other times you may be sprinkle. And then depending on the man, there may be a time when you go 50-50 with him. So yeah. Purple Rain is saying women are judgmental. They've done peer review studies on it. They have? I haven't seen the peer review studies, but yeah, women can be and men are very judgmental as well. People are just judgmental. So Legacy is in the building. Legacy, I sent you an email with regards to you coming on to talk about the estate management. I wanted to start doing some how I make six figures in my job discussion. So check your email and let me know when you can come on, okay? Thank you, darling. Live and Love is saying, I think that UMBWs can learn a lot from other groups and apply their knowledge and strategies to their life too. For example, Sprinkle Girl has great strategies that can help UMBWs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, let me tell you something. The reason why I like Shira 7 is because she's honest. I like any woman who's honest. And Shira is one of the top girlies on YouTube. Now, look, I don't follow her like that. But the things that I've seen of Shira and also the critics, Shira's critics, anything that they say, I'm like, is that it? Is that all she does? Is that the problem? So I like Shira. I like what I've seen of her. And yes, she definitely has great strategies for UMBWs. Notary is saying I am having some of that sprinkle. My man pays the big bills and I pay the small bills, but I do want him to pay all the bills. Let me rest my femininity. Girl, just still make sure you have your notary business. That's all I have to say. Legacy is saying UMBW, my livelihood will never be left in someone else's hands. J. Antoinette is saying homemade soup can be delicious. I make a very good chicken noodle soup. So yes, girls. Homemade soup is really easy to make too. Really easy to make. For me, the big thing is having the right bouillon cubes because that makes all the difference. And then other than that, you just throw the ingredients in there, cook it anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, at least for me, because I eat a lot of vegetable soups. Yep. Renee, you are never late. You are always on time. Torian Dreams is saying she's going to watch the replay. That's because she is doing her accounting stuff. Oh, you responded to my email a few days ago. Let me check again. Thank you. Renee is asking where can she find the list of Hillmantok classes? Let me get you the website. It's Hillmantok, HBCU.com. So let me actually put this on the screen here for you. Hillmantok, HBCU.com. And if you go to, let me take this off here. If you go to the 2025 course catalog, Renee, if you go to the 2025 course catalog, you'll be able to find it there. So, and good evening, Level Up Single Mom. How you doing today? How you doing? So, Level Up Single Mom, I saw your friend Themis over there. I thought about him because Beyonce won the Grammy for Best Album. And all I thought was, okay, Jay-Z went last year. He rattled them. I don't know why, but he did. And she won Best Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter. And granted, I didn't listen to the whole CD or the whole, whatever album. But of all the albums that Beyonce has made, for her to win Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, I also saw that she won the Grammy for Best Country Album. So, okay. And I heard that she dropped her Cowboy Carter tickets. She's starting her new tour. She is starting her new tour. Erica Williams on YouTube said, yeah, everybody's about to get their tax refunds. So Beyonce decided now's the time to drop her tour dates. I will tell you, Beyonce's team, when it comes to her music, is on top of it. Her other businesses, not so much, but the music team is on top of it. And Level Up Single Mom is editing a short video about it. I have to check it out and see what you have to say, because the couple of songs I heard from Cowboy Carter, I like the Texas Hold'em song. The rest of the songs that I heard, granted, I probably heard half of the songs. I probably heard about 4 or 5 of the songs. I wasn't impressed. I listened to enough country music where I was like, I'm not impressed. I mean, but hey. Okay, so you liked most of what you heard. Okay, all right. Mackie is saying too few men understand the true cost of paying a mortgage, property taxes, homeowner insurance, and all the utilities for a home it costs to be the boss. You have to pay the cost to be the boss. You definitely do. All right, so let's talk about the final story of the evening, and that is Cam Newton. Put a 6 in the chat if you heard this Cam Newton story. Put a 7 in the chat if you have not heard about the Cam Newton story. So the Cam Newton story is that Cam said, it was a couple of weeks ago, that the checks are not coming in like they used to do during his NFL career, and it is becoming harder for him to provide for his 8 children. This is what Cam Newton said. He said it in an interview. It's becoming harder for him to provide for his 8 kids. Cam Newton says it, quote, hurts not being able to provide for his 8 kids like he once did after losing a $6 million NFL salary. Admits he's just a man and he's not Superman. My question to Cam Newton and my UMBWs, as you were selecting a husband and the father of your children, because I always say the father of your children is the most important financial decision you will ever make. You all didn't think about this beforehand? It's not like everybody doesn't know that the NFL salaries don't last a lifetime. It's not like everybody doesn't know if you get a good 5 years out of an NFL salary, You've done really well. We have to, as women, play chess, not checkers. And Cam Newton didn't know that the gravy train wasn't going to stay forever. My understanding is he came from a 2-parent household. Like, his father didn't tell him, like, hey, save up some money, put some money into investments. Now, I'm not saying that Cam Newton is broke, because I don't know the man's pockets like that, right? I think he's still making money because he's got, I think he's got his podcast, and he's got some commentating that he's doing, right? But we have to start thinking 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. So I'm going to read your comments in a second. I just want to share some of the things here. So it says here, this is my Google search. Former NFL quarterback Cam Newton has said that he's struggling to provide for his 8 children since retiring from the league in 2021. He's described the sudden drop in his income as, quote, painful, and said it makes him feel like he's, quote, just a man instead of the Superman he once felt like. Explanation. Newton has said that the sudden drop in his income has made it difficult for him to provide for his children. Ladies, this is why I tell you, you need to think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of that man when you are deciding to have children with him, right? He said that he's getting prepared for the next chapter of his life. He's also said that he's open to having more children. And then he's got, they have Newton's children here. Google is so messy. Put Nate in the chat if you think Google is as messy as we are, because I think Google is messy. They have a little AI explanation here. I said, Cam Newton can't provide for his kids. They gave us the AI explanation. They're like, Newton's children. They let you know the year that he got together with Jasmine Brown. They let you know all the children that he has. Google is a trip. Didn't they give you the source material over here? So yeah, we have to think, like I said, 5 steps ahead. And the reason this is an important topic for us as women is because we need to know, okay, most of us won't marry an NFL guy, but one of the biggest examples that I have is if you marry a blue collar guy. Because let's keep it 100, right? Not all blue collar guys are broke. There are some highly skilled blue collar guys out there. But if the guy is blue collar, he is not going to be on his hands and knees, twisting at 60, 65, 70 years old, maybe not even 50 years old within that job. So if you decide to have a child with a blue collar guy, what's your plan? What's your plan if he injures himself at work? What's your plan if he starts a business but can't find anybody who's reliable to do the work because, there are a lot of unreliable people out here, right? And then he's like, oh, shoot, I have to go out and do it myself. This is where we as UMBWs, we kind of take this information and kind of relay it and relate it to our lives. And don't think, if you marry a white collar man, that it is going to be different. Because he may not have the physical, incapabilities, but if AI takes over his job and he doesn't have a network to get back on his feet, then what? So yeah, these are messy money topics, but these are the topics that we need to start thinking about as UMBWs. And it's not just with regards to romantic partnerships. Most of you know I live with my mom. I love my mom. period. And I know that there will be a certain point where I need to take care of more of my mom's expenses because she is um, she is more optimistic than I am about the future of Social Security and the future of, these payments coming through and all the things that she wants to do in life. And I know that. Some of you may live with parents, some of you may live with kids, some of you may have a sister or a brother and you need to take care of your nieces or nephews. Are you prepared for that? So that's a little something just for us to think about. Let's see here. Level Up Single Mom was saying, I did hear about Cam poor mouthing. Yeah. Dawn to Earth, yes, he has 8 children. Now, it's my understanding that a couple of those are adopted kids, but if he legally adopted those kids, if he has his name signed on those kids, he is financially responsible for them. Jay Antoinette, I have no idea if he made investments or not. I have no idea. And the question is, did he make cash flowing investments or what kind of investments did he make? So the good thing about Cam Newton is I think he'll ultimately end up on his feet. So he's just not going to probably make the big checks he was making in the NFL, but he'll be all right. Yes, Level Up Single Mom, he should have stopped having children. I think Cam Newton knew better. I think Cam Newton is a smart man, but you're saying $7 million a year is nothing to sneeze at. Is that how much, Jay Antoinette, is that how much he makes now? Or was that how much he was making when he was in the NFL? I don't know that much about his money. So, Love Love Single Mind is saying, that's why it's so frustrating how Black people stay talking so much about relationships. We have bigger fish to fry. This is true. This is true. That's why I said, UMBWs, like, you have to decide that you're willing to do the uncomfortable stuff now to be more comfortable later. So, and yes, Google is messy. Google is as messy as they come. And wait until we get our AI robots, Level Up Single Mom. I want a messy, Wendy Williams, messy kind of personal AI bot. Yes, I do. I might even have to call my personal bot Wendy. Yes, I do. Yes, I might. And this is true. Those women were seeing dollar signs and not counting the cost of multiple children and multiple women. My understanding is 1 or 2 of the young ladies were strippers or something like that. Diamond Dave was talking about it the other day. So I was like, oh, really? Like, okay. So, if that is their frame of reference, and look, women who are strippers can be not only very smart, but they can get into tech, into healthcare, into being a mortgage loan officer like I am, real estate, make all sorts of money. This is my understanding. So was that 1 or 2 of them he actually met at gentlemen's clubs. Let's just say it like that. Purple Rain is saying, I don't know, there are retired athletes that have more money and fewer kids. This is true. This is true. A poor man can destroy your life and finances. This is true as well. This is true. A financially irresponsible man, fitness. So it's not just a poor man, it's a financially irresponsible man. Financially irresponsible man can ruin your life and your finances. This is true. Purple Rain is saying, but I've also seen how some of these rich guys into a polyamory have favorites. This is true. Tam, good evening, everybody. Women in Linux is in the building. Let's see here. But then again, NFL players are known to go broke after 5 years, but he's been in the league for like 12 years, so I don't know. Yeah, so this is just like people who get inheritances. They typically spend all the money within 9 months or something like that. So, yeah, when you get all of that money in, the hardest thing is to actually hang on to it. So, I did know this that his dad is a pastor. Yes, I did know this. Hey, Mentor Shelley, happy messy Monday. Brain is saying, yeah, but the NFL players also have agents that get a percentage, and then they also have to pay out of pocket for their maintenance team. This is true. This is true. They have a lot of expenses, and the number one expense they have is the tax man because they're highly paid employees. So, Demir is in the building saying, a woman I briefly met ages ago used to poll to fund her med school path. Yeah. So look, I am the person who says, as long as you as the woman want to be there doing the sex work, whatever kind of sex work it is, as long it is as it is your choice and you're not being trafficked and you're of age, have at it. I'm happy for you. To the young lady making $4 million a month on OnlyFans, as long as it's her decision to do it, have at it. Because there will always be men willing to pay for it. So, yeah. So she can, if this young lady, this woman can become a stripper and fund her medical school and not have student loan debt, I'm happy for her. So, yeah, girls are stripping to pay for school, even lawyers who work nightlife. So the only thing, and again, I lived my 20s during the late 90s, early 2000s, is there wasn't social media at that time. So you could be a girly who was stripping, and yet you could move to another state and nobody would know that you were a stripper where you came from. So that's the only thing. And now, because there's social media, now it's like you're out there, you're going to have your persona on Instagram and, OnlyFans and things like that. So that's the only difference. So Purple Rain is saying, but the MLB has the best union, but they're really shady with how they do the rookies in the minor leagues. Yep, I've heard that. Renee is saying you can do all four. Use Stephanie Perry's house sitting to not pay rent. Get your degrees, careers, business. Do sprinkle with a provider man. He pays the big bills and you pay for the small bills. So let me ask you this. Will he want to travel the world with you house sitting? It's possible he might, but the minute you bring a man, into the minute you become involved with the man, he may not have the kind of job that will allow him to travel and, work remote and things like that. So, not saying that he won't, he might, or he might work remote. However, he still wants to stay close to his family, his friends, his basketball court, his boys, whatever it is. So, but yeah, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And yes, ladies, don't forget about opening up your options. Yes, over here, I do believe find the best man for the job. Yeah, so a couple of nurses that were bartenders and bottle girls. Yes. They're bottle girls, they were bikini girls, all sorts of stuff in order to pay for their education. Yeah. Purple is saying they just strip during their breaks in Vegas and come back and go to school full time. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, ladies. Well, put a UMBW in the chat again. If you enjoyed tonight's Messy Money topics, just want to come in, share some information with you. Hillmantok again, HBCU, Hillmantok, HBCU is one of the things we talked about this evening. You can go and participate in the spring semester of Hillmantok. They teach all sorts of stuff. It's completely free. If you do take a class, please make sure that you cash app or do whatever you're supposed to do to get some money to the professors. But yeah, Hillmantok is here. We also talked about the winter is coming message. There are 4 kinds of women out there. Our sprinkle ladies, our 50-50 ladies, our financially distressed ladies, and our UMBWs. So I'm over here on the UMBW side, but we don't shade anybody else. And then the third thing, Cam Newton. Cam Newton, it feels like he's a man and not Superman because checks ain't coming in like they used to. So that is the conversation for today. My UMBWs are coming in the chat. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. UMBW all day. And Fitness for Black Ladies saying, Renee, I like the way you think. I love that. Thank you, Donna Earth, for the super sticker. I really appreciate you so much. All right, ladies, I'll be back next week in order to talk about some more money topics, and I'll keep it moving from there. Thank you so much, Legacy. I will be in touch with you, my dear. All right, ladies, good night. Have a good week. Take care. Bye-bye.